In this brief lecture, I will cover the primary ideas of installment 1 of Kierkegaard's last work, The Moment. This installment came out on May 24th, 1855. In our first discussion, entitled Selections from the Moment, the exordium of installment 1 was addressed. Therefore, I will only be speaking about sections 2 through 4 and the addendum. Section 2. Addition to this must be said, or how is something decisive to be introduced? Kierkegaard's objecting against the established order is decisive. No half measures will do. Kierkegaard, like a bird of prey, is prepared to strike at Danish Christendom in order to reform it. His tone will not be a moderate one, for he believes such an approach never accomplishes anything and infects Christianity. How? It waters everything down, turning Christianity into a feel-good spiritualist movement for the lazy-minded, where they can attend once a week and live largely unaffected within the wider world. To Kierkegaard's lights, the symbol for Christianity ought to be an either-or, making it so one cannot serve God to a certain degree. It's an all-or-nothing endeavor. Section 3. Is it defensible for the state, the Christian state, to make, if possible, Christianity impossible? The obvious answer is that it is totally indefensible. What needs to be explained is why New Testament Christianity, true Christianity, does not exist in Denmark. Kierkegaard says the state has 1,000 officials financially interested in A, growing the number of people calling themselves Christians, and B, arresting the matter here so no one understands the deeper Christian truth. How do these interests fit together? Why wouldn't the Danish Christian state want their congregations to authentically believe? First off, Kierkegaard says the very notion of 1,000 Christian officials is religious malpractice. Why? Being a teacher of Christianity precludes a royal post, and if said officials revealed the Christian truth, all would see their hierarchy as fraudulent. Ironically, the inhibition of Christianity occurs precisely because of those promoting it. Further, if these royal officials really proclaim the Christian message of sacrifice and humility, the numbers in the congregation would dwindle. This would be bad business for pastors. Keeping people in the dark about authentic faith may be good for their profession, but so very bad for Christianity itself. It angers Kierkegaard that everyone thinks Christianity is so easy. Just mouth a few words and put the money in the plate, thus sustaining those with official titles, inhibiting the congregation from finding a deeper truth. He thinks it profane and cheapening. He quotes from page 96, or I quote him from page 96. Nothing is more dangerous for true Christianity. Nothing is more contrary to its nature than this abortion causing it to rest there, so that people assume the name Christians. This system makes a mockery of God, and Kierkegaard wants to expose it. Kierkegaard desires to explicate the true Christian message so people take it more seriously or get out. He understands that if pastors take his word seriously and preach accordingly, it will threaten their livelihood. But such risk is what being a truth witness demands of us. Section 4. Take an emetic. An emetic is a medicine that makes you vomit. Kierkegaard believes his writings in the fatherland have woken people up, but they've yet to act because of pragmatic concerns. To lure them out of the ambiguous sickness, he administers his own emetic. He asks them to think of all those that willingly died for the sake of their devotion to Christ, and how an accounting is coming. Will this not get people off the fence so that they practice true Christian worship? An addendum. Kierkegaard's authorship, he knows, is ahead of its time, but he feels he must use this moment. People must decide if they want the temporal or the eternal. No more both and. It's an either or. The New Testament fills Kierkegaard with horror for the both and, meaning serving both masters of the eternal and the temporal. What we will want to meditate on in future discussions is how Kierkegaard's critique of the Danish church is instructive of our American religious culture. Do we not have officials that convey only half-truths of Christianity? If they were radical in their teachings, what would be the result, not only institutionally, but perhaps more importantly with the individual? Would people respect the Christian faith more? Would the numbers dwindle, but the passion increase amongst the few? Is this not a better state of affairs than the currently existing one? How are we to make these distinctions between worse and better?